On this episode of the Naturist Living Show, performing nude.
This episode of the Naturist Living Show is brought to you by Bear Oaks Family Naturist Park. At Bear Oaks, we offer traditional naturist values in a modern setting. Free your body, free your mind. www.bearoaks.ca.
Well, my dear listener, it's episode number 46 of the Naturist Living Show. My name is Stéphane Deschênes. I'm your host for this podcast and for this episode of the Naturist Living Show. I'm also the owner of Bear Oaks Family Naturist Park. And yet again, we are setting further records in terms of listeners. So just to remind everybody, a listener is a download of the podcast, not a hit, not a page view, not any of those funny numbers that people try to claim in terms of making their website sound bigger than it is. These are actual downloads of the file, the MP3 file, which are fairly big. So I've got to assume that the majority of those are actually listening to it, otherwise they wouldn't bother. And in July of 2012, the last full month when I'm recording this, we had 78,846. That's almost 79,000. And I remember when I got excited that my total downloads for all the shows were 100,000 over the first year or two, I guess it was. Now we're approaching 100,000 downloads every month. And that's just unbelievable. So thank you for listening and for taking an interest in the show. I get comments and feedback, and I really appreciate it. But I also wanted to ask you to also help me. You don't have to do the show. It's a fair bit of work to do the show. I enjoy it, and I'm glad to see that you enjoy it, which is why you listen to it. But you can do your part too. You can do your part just to help the show, but you can also do your part to help naturism and to help Bear Oaks. If you agree with what we're doing in our philosophy of ethical naturism that we talk about on the show and that we try to live at Bear Oaks Family Naturist Park, we're everywhere. We're on Facebook. We are on Google+. We're on Pinterest. We're on TripAdvisor. We're on Foursquare. We're on Yelp. We're in iTunes. So if you have an account in any of those, can you take a minute and give us a rating? Hopefully a good one. Better yet, write a review in one of those places. If you're on iTunes and you're an iTunes user, it's very easy. You can click and just write a review about the show and the podcast. If you've been to Bear Oaks and you want to write about it in TripAdvisor, then that would be really appreciated too. And all those things, and I'll put links to all of the different social media things, sections, areas that we do for the Naturist Living Show and for Bear Oaks, so that you can go and click on any one that interests you and go and write a comment about it. So I'll put all that in the show notes. It's also, if you go to the Bear Oaks website, at the bottom of every page, there's links to all of the social media channels that we participate in. But if you are writing comments, if you are rating it, the more people do it, the more the different websites and the podcast itself will show up and be featured in search engines and other places, because when they see it's popular, then they promote it more, which means that more people will discover ethical naturism, more people will discover naturism, period, which will help the movement and will help us grow. So take a minute, click on one or many of the links, please, and just take a minute and give us a rating or write a comment. I still appreciate all the direct comments you send me, but if you can take a minute to go and rate the show or comment on it publicly, that would be greatly appreciated. One of the things that's been great, of course, is that we have so many listeners to the show that enjoy it, that some of them are choosing to come to Bear Oaks, and we've talked about them before. In some cases, their first experiences with naturism has come as a result of listening to the show and visiting Bear Oaks. And of course, I guess from that standpoint, there is a benefit for me doing the show, and even though it's really a non-profit and we don't have any commercials, and it's just volunteer time, but as much as it's promoting the park, that certainly is helping the development of Bear Oaks Family Naturist Park. One of those couples was Steve and Michelle, who came just a few weeks ago during this very warm and hot and beautiful summer to enjoy Bear Oaks, and I had a chance to sit down with them for a few minutes and talk about the show and how they ended up at Bear Oaks.
I'm Steve, and I'm from near Rochester, New York.
And I'm Michelle.
And this is your first visit to Bear Oaks, and how did you end up here?
I think we started listening to your podcast a couple of years ago, I think it was, and I had heard about Bear Oaks for a long, long time and just decided that we wanted to spend a week here, and so here we are.
And were you naturist when you first started listening to the podcast?
He was kind of, I wasn't. But after listening to several of the shows, I decided to give it a try.
What was it about the shows that helped you decide?
There were shows, sometimes you talk to some people about raising children, which of course we have 7 grandchildren, so that was quite interesting to me because I didn't want them to have body shame. And then you had an interview, I think, with about women and why they did and didn't, feel comfortable coming or going to a place like that at first, and how they changed, and then the vitamin D episode was really good, and I don't know. I just heard the bra one too. That was really interesting too to me. So I decided to try it. So, and I'm certainly glad I did.
So you've been here a week, and how's it been?
It's been wonderful. We leave tomorrow morning, unfortunately, and we were just sitting over at the clubhouse in the sauna and saying, "Oh, I don't want to go home." We don't have a sauna at our house, and we don't have a hot tub and all that. So it's been a very nice experience.
Mm-hmm.
Steve also has a blog, which is quite interesting, and I will provide a link to that so that you can read about where he writes about his discovery of naturism and his interest in naturism and the things he's discovered about it. We have more and more events every year at Bear Oaks, and we try to have things for people to do, but we also try to have performers. And we've had bands perform, and we've had magicians and acrobats and people who do face painting and all kinds of things. And in the beginning, certainly a lot of them were dressed. More and more, though, we tend to just focus on people who are willing to also perform nude. And that can be a little bit challenging, but for some, it actually seems to be an interesting challenge in a positive way. Many appreciate it and really come back because of it. And we have a lot of fun with it. One of the first-time performers this year were called the PyroFlys. They are fire spinners or fire performers. We've had other fire performers before. Never had a chance to interview them, but with the PyroFlys, I had a chance to talk to them. They first came to the family weekend in July, which was a great success, so we're definitely repeating that next year. But they also came to perform a second time, third week of August, during the Lee Baxendall Memorial Volleyball Tournament, and they performed at night because, of course, with the fire that they're performing and spinning and playing with, it's far more impressive at night. And so, in fact, if you go to the Facebook page for Bear Oaks, there are a number of pictures that I posted taken at night. And it's very impressive because the photographer did a time delay, so the fire is creating all these shapes in the darkness while lighting them up a little bit. But anyway, I sat down with the PyroFlys to learn about what it was like for them to perform nude for the first time and the second time at Bear Oaks Family Naturist Park.
I'm Victoria.
I'm Tom. I'm Kipper.
And you guys are fire spinners. So what does that mean?
Balls of fire that are really cool, and we dance with them like it's nothing. when it really is something.
Now, it's the first time you've done it at Bear Oaks. No, second time you've done it at Bear Oaks. And before that, had you ever done it without any clothes?
No, I've done it topless once, but never completely naked. So it was a really great experience. It was awesome. It was the best show.
Why is that?
Well, you know, everyone here is really awesome, but it just like felt so good, and you didn't have to worry about your clothes lighting on fire, and yeah, it feels really good. You feel free.
So people might actually think that it's more dangerous to do it without clothes on.
That's true. They think it, but really, we feel safer because, especially, you can't really keep track of clothes. Places that would typically light are like behind you, and that's not an area that you can keep just look and see. You just feel it before you're aware otherwise. But without clothes, the worst that happens is that you can hurt your arms or make some light contact, and it's just a light burn, but you won't catch on fire. I mean, unless you're like dipped in grease or something, you're not going to just like go up. It doesn't happen that way.
Maybe if you're covered in coconut oil, you might be a little more risky. I don't know.
But there might be more hair exposed.
There might be, but most likely it's not. It will just fizzle, and it won't light up.
Yeah, your hair might get singed, but that's about it, and it doesn't really hurt or anything.
So how do you become a fire spinner?
Tons and tons of practice. First off, I spent a lot of time practicing poi without fire, and then it's sort of a natural evolution to end up spinning fire because these toys are a lot more spectacular with fire. So it's almost the end game is becoming a fire spinner, but it takes a lot of practice to get there.
And why does one become a fire spinner? What makes you want to do that?
Well, I really like to play, but also it's very meditative when you're hula hooping or spinning poi or staff, whatever you do. It feels really good. I know that for a lot of fire spinners that it's getting us through really hard times, and I know for a lot of people that it's completely brought them out of their shell. Like for me, I'm quite a shy person, but doing poi has made me a lot less shy. It's made me perform. It's really brought me out of my shell. So
and what's poi?
Poi are basically balls that are secured on the ends of chains with handles on them. So we just swing them around. Yeah, it's established by the Maori tribe of New Zealand. Basically, it was I think it was used to promote like basket weaving. Other things like that. It was just something they did for fun also, but it was the way that they moved the balls, because by themselves it's nothing spectacular. What's spectacular is the motion that you use to make it go around you, but just a ball on a chain, that's all it is.
It sounds like you were saying it's almost something spiritual about it.
yeah, definitely. There's a lot of spiritual, and it's kind of like it's kind of a way of life in a sense too, because you do meet other circus people and they are quite like-minded to you, and you want to be the best person you can be and clean up after yourself, and yeah, so it's, in a way, I guess it is kind of a way of life, and it kind of takes over your life in a way, because like I know Kipper wants to do native dance, and the only reason why he wants to do native dance is because he's like, oh, it will help my poi.
Yeah, this year I'll be taking the Indigenous dance program at Trent University, and I think since poi is indigenous to the Maori tribe from New Zealand, that it would fit into that category, and I could sort of fuse some of the dance styles I'll be learning in the class with poi. Kind of hopefully take my poi in a new direction, take it to a new level with that.
Where do you perform this when you're not performing here?
Oh wow! I mean, often we have practiced pretty often in Peterborough and publicly, sort of jamming out when and where we can. But otherwise, we've performed at the venue. It's a nightclub. Performed on a couple of street festivals in Peterborough. Victoria performed at a Jack and Jill a few weeks back. I think we performed at a campground a couple of times once down in Coburg and one's at Lakefield. Yes, we also performed at what was the school? Prince of Wales Public School. We did their Cirque de Prince. We were the headliners for that, so we got to do a fire show in the school gymnasium, which was pretty cool, pretty interesting. The crowd loved it. It was great.
And how did you end up performing here?
Well, you got us. I think because you know Nikki. Are you acquainted with that?
Yeah, actually, yeah. I'm friends with Nikki, and we were looking for gigs. We're planning to be a lot more active this summer, so I was like, yeah, we'll start looking for gigs. And I was like, I know a place would be very, very cool and unique to go to. So
We like being naked too. So that was a big attraction.
Yeah, so we're able to fuse those two, right? We're able to fuse, the comfort with our nudity and the great feeling of being naked and performing with fire. To bring those two together, it's like, wow, this will be a really cool, unique opportunity. So I contacted Nikki and said, hey, I got at this fire crew, we're looking for places to perform. Would you guys be open to having us come there? And luckily, you guys were, so this is great.
Yeah, it's been great. It's an awesome show. Guys, I missed the one the last time you were here. I missed it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was here and I fell asleep. I was really tired after a long day, and I was really glad I saw it, because people were raving about it afterwards. Oh, shoot, I missed it. Why do you think you're so comfortable? Why do you like being naked?
Why do you like being naked?
I like overcoming the stigma that came with it from my family. Like, they're not like the most proper people in the world, but they're definitely about having some level of propriety where you have to wear clothes and it's the way it is. But there's just so much freedom in more than just a very literal sense that you're not wearing clothes, but just to be able to not have to worry about preconceptions of people based on their clothing or what they're wearing, or just things that clothes signify, what type of person you are. Just you have to get to know somebody, you have to figure that out for yourself, and everybody here is so friendly and says hi to you just because they know that. They know in order to meet people, to know them better, that they have to engage. And I think that's one of the great ways to come out of your shell. It's to not only spin fire, but to be naked.
I think for mine, growing up, I had a lot of body issues, and I think as a girl, that's natural. We're trained to have body issues. So I think for me being in a place like this, it's, I'm older now, so I love my body a lot now, but I'm not old, but I'm older. I'm not 18 anymore. And so it makes me realize exactly how much I love my body and how I love everyone's body, and that it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter whether I have a little bit of flub on my tummy, and it's re-loving my body and everyone else's.
Yeah. For me, I think in terms of the nudity, comfort with nudity, some years ago I ended up going to Wreck Beach, which was really great, and we were hanging out, and I was what I really loved about it was kind of the desexualization of nudity in that context. It was like it didn't matter. Previously, nudity was associated with sexuality for me, but in that environment, it was like, wow, we could be naked and it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be sexual. It's just natural and comfortable and in that environment, I was able to feel a lot more comfortable with my own body, which was great.
Of course, aside from the people who perform at Bare Oaks, there's also people who perform nude for a variety of reasons. Musicians have often used nudity, sometimes in a sexual way, but sometimes just to make the point. And I ran across one of those just a few months ago. There's an artist by the name of Tohm Lev, and she did a song which could really be an anthem for naturism. It's called Legalize Nudity. And she does a video where she's nude. She doesn't seem to have any issue with nudity at all. In fact, she seems to enjoy it quite a bit. And so I decided to give her a shout and contact her, and she agreed to talk with me for the show. Yes, somebody forwarded to me your video, Legalize Nudity, And of course, as a naturist, that spoke right to me. In fact, your message is very much a naturist message. Even some of the expressions you use, like, if we were born to be nude, we would have been born that way. That's something we
Right.
always say. So,
Right.
how did you come to do this song and this video?
Well, it's an interesting story. Like the song and the video are two different things. I wrote this song because it was a combination of a few things. I had actually just the music, and I needed to write lyrics, and we had different ideas. I wasn't sure what should I put in the music, because I felt the music was really good, and I was writing the music with my producer Larry DeVoskin, and then I had to write the lyrics, and I talked to my mom on the phone. I was in New York in the East Village in my apartment, and I talked to her, and she was saying about how I should not wear revealing clothes as an artist because I give example to little kids.
Yeah.
And it should be more, like not to show cleavage and stuff, and be more like, to give example. Because she said, oh, you're an artist, and then you'll get famous, and you don't want to show a bad example for little girls. And then I told her, but Mom, little kids always like to be naked. They're always trying to take off their clothes.
Yeah, that's right.
And she was laughing and stuff. So that day I was sitting with my friend, and we decided to go for Legalize Nudity. Oh, and there was another thing. There was this girl in New York, a model. She modeled naked in the MoMA Museum, and he was in a room full of naked statues, and she got arrested. Got arrested for being naked in the MoMA Museum, but it was totally artistic, and I thought it was really, really rude and really fake, because, as I said, the room was full of naked statues, and she was like 24 hours in jail. So that was another thing that made me write the song. And I think I love animals, and PETA has these I'd rather go naked than wear fur slogan.
Yeah.
So it was also like inspired my song. So we wrote the lyrics into the music that was already existed, and it came out really good. We went to the studio, we recorded, and then we said, okay, this is my producers and my manager and everyone said, this is your best song. This is what we're gonna put the money for the video, because I had a budget from the label, and we were searching for people, for a production company to shoot the video, and then we connected with these guys in LA, and the truth is, I had a different idea for the video. I was thinking about hippies, people in nature, dancing, it more like Woodstock style, because the lyrics are all about love and peace, and how like the human body is a beautiful thing, and it should not be a taboo, and different colors, different shapes, but it's just like animals. Animals are not shamed of their skin, so why should people think it's such a taboo? I mean, I love fashion, but I don't like how nudity is such a taboo, and it's like I don't agree with that. And that's what I wanted to do in the video, to visualize and to desexualize nudity in a visual way of how people just naked and dancing together, but it's not sexual.
Right.
It's natural. But then my label had different ideas, and they told the production company that did the video, they want to do something shocking. They want to shock the world. And that's where things we had a lot of disagreement, and at the end we we decided we're gonna just be a bunch of nudists who go into a fur store. I'm not sure you can see in the video that it's a fur store that we're trashing.
No, I thought it was just a high-end clothing store.
No, it's supposed to be a fur store. Like we're also against animal cruelty. Besides being against clothes, we're also against animal cruelty.
Right. That makes sense.
We actually had good scenes in the video that we shot that were never in the video. But anyway, it is what it is. It's a nice video, but then YouTube blocked it, and no TV station wanted to show it because it was so shocking, and it was just a bad decision. My label thought that this gonna be the video is gonna break me and it's gonna go viral, and because it's so shocking, I'm gonna stand out. But it was too shocking that everyone blocked it.
Well, but I've seen it on YouTube.
Yeah, you have to be a member, like you have to have a YouTube account. But if people are not, if some people don't have a YouTube account, they cannot watch the video.
Oh, yeah, because you have to agree to be over 18. Yeah, I see a message in the violence. You're right. The lyrics, when you listen to them, there's nothing at all about the violence that you see in the video. But I always found it interesting how, you can show violence on television, you can show blood and guts, but you can't show nudity. And I saw that message in your video.
Oh, we haven't even thought of it, but it's very creative. It's another irony that we're like painting it in without noticing. Cool. Thanks for point.
Well, now that it's recorded, you can't say anymore that it was your idea, but it's okay.
I'm not taking credit that is not mine. It's your idea here.
So, have you had any experience with naturism at all, other than obviously making this video?
Well, making the video was a great experience. We were all completely naked, and all the actors and everyone on the crew. The crew was not naked, like the people who built all the set. But no, I was also, when I was younger, I did go-go dancing, which is kind of naked. And, I'm always like, I'm very free spirit. I'm very... Like, I like when I'm home, I always walk around naked. I don't mind. I'm not like activist, like I don't go protest naked, like legalize nudity. Because, everyone should live the way they want. But yeah, it's part of, my life, because I just don't think it's a big deal. So I don't make a big deal out of it. Like, I just... Like, if I can, I'll be naked.
Well, it is, but you come from a part of the world that's known for intolerance, especially towards the woman's body. Now, Israel, of course, is a very cosmopolitan country and modern, but even within Israel, there's some very conservative factions, and you're surrounded by countries that you could be stoned to death for showing nudity.
That's very true. That's very true. Maybe that's why I'm like rebelling, because I don't like that, because I hate these restricted rules and all this like heaviness of like heavy mind that everything is like wrong, and I'm rebelling against it.
Were you like that when you were in Israel before you came to New York?
I was always like that, yeah.
But you've never been to a nude beach or anything like that?
I think I went in Israel to a nude beach, yeah. When I was probably in the military, yeah. There are some nude beaches in Israel.
Yes, I've heard that, but actually a lot of our listeners will be surprised to hear that because they wouldn't expect that in the Middle East.
Yeah, it is kind of surprising.
And what would you say the general Israeli view towards nudity is?
Well, I guess in the center of Israel, like, in Tel Aviv and all the cities around, and like, the all the metropolitans, it's like New York. People are very open-minded and people are very modern, and like, Tel Aviv is very open. It's very, very gay, very, very free. So they're open to nudity. I guess in the south and in the north, it's more country, and people are less open-minded. In Jerusalem is a very interesting city. It's very mixed, and I wouldn't go naked there. I wouldn't walk around naked in Jerusalem.
So when you criticize the land of liberty, are you talking about the United States?
I am, yeah, I do.
So the United States is not that free either when it comes to nudity, is it?
No, not at all. Like this girl that got arrested in the MoMA Museum in New York City, just for, modeling art, modeling her body. Wasn't even sexual. It was totally art. And like in Europe, it's not such a big deal. Like when people go to the beach, they don't even, like girls and boys, they don't even put tops, they just put the bottom part.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not such a big deal. And in Germany, like I have family in Germany, like my cousin told me there is a nude bars that you come to the bar and you have to take off all your clothes and then everyone naked. And it's like cool. It's just an experience. And the bartenders, the waitresses, everybody are like totally naked, like, in their birthday suits. And I thought in New York, because, it's a land of liberty, it wouldn't be so taboo, but it is.
Have you heard of the artist Spencer Tunick?
I have not, no.
Spencer Tunick is become famous because he paints landscapes with nude bodies, and he gets hundreds and thousands of people to come.
Nice.
And lay down in various shapes and kind of paint often urban landscapes with the soft human bodies. And he did a shoot, I think it was last year or the year before, in Israel in the Dead Sea.
Oh yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah, and that was exactly like when I've heard of that event, I wished I could shoot my video there, because that was exactly my vision for Legalize Nudity.
So where are you going to go from here? Are you going to do more on this theme, or was that just one time?
I'm actually, I'm in a crossroad right now. I want to shoot another video like the video that you saw, the one that we shot. It cost $67,000, and it's so much money.
Mm-hmm.
Record label paid.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's not captured what I want. So now I'm trying to get like another budget, or to just like shoot it with my friend, just to go to like a nudist beach or something and just shoot a video like the way I want it. Because I don't feel like promoting this one. It's not really saying what I want to say with all the violence and everything. And now I'm writing a lot these days, and I just got back from Israel. I was doing some studies, and now I'm, like writing, like taking some time to think where I want to go with my career. Like maybe I want to like study more, and like I wanted to go on tour, but now I feel like I should like focus on developing my my image better. Like who am I as an artist, and what is my message? And before I go outside, I wanna cook a little, to cook all the ideas and all the who I am. So I'm doing a lot of thinking these days. I need to take a lot of rough decisions. I was thinking of moving to LA to get some connections over there, and it's a tough business, music. It's a lot of compromise. It's a lot of risk, but if people who love it, it's a lifestyle.
So she said that the video is not necessarily consistent with what the song's meaning is. The video is more about a very violent uprising or protests against people wearing clothes. It's kind of funny as well in some ways when you really watch it. But the song, if you don't see that, or if you've never seen that, you realize it's actually a much softer message as well. So it depends on the way you look at it. But I'll provide a link to the video from the show notes as well, so you're welcome to go and watch it. But so that you hear it first without the visuals, I'll play it right now with Tom's permission.
Mother Nature doesn't like clothes, but society like to impose. They want some curtains in all your windows. I want the freedom to overexpose. Some narrow-minded people like to be prudes, but nudity is natural, is not lewd. Legalize nudity, set your body free. Legalize nudity, break the chains of slavery. In the name of liberty, I'm here to tell you there is no shame. Beware of anyone who tries to place blame. Nudity is not a sin as some people claim. This prude attitude is totally lame. If God didn't want us to be nude, why were we born in our birthday suits? Legalize nudity, set your body free. Legalize nudity in this land of liberty. In the name of liberty, some people say we need to protect children from ever seeing our beautiful animal skin. Should we blindfold children when they're taking a bath? And no more breastfeeding, how crazy is that? Legalize nudity, set the planet free. Legalize nudity in the land of liberty. In the land of liberty. In the land of liberty. Take it off. In the land of liberty. In the land of liberty. Show it off. In the land of liberty. Take off your clothes. In the land of liberty. In the land of liberty. In the land of liberty. In the land of liberty.
Well, that's all for this episode of the Naturist Living Show. Thank you as always for listening. And remember, please take a few moments and go to one of our social media channels. There are many in the show notes for this episode, and there are many links to them as well at the bottom of the Bare Oaks website, which is at bareoaks.ca, bareoaks.ca. Again, my name is Stéphane Deschênes. I'm your host, as always, for this podcast, and I'm the owner of Bare Oaks Family Naturist Park. So you'll find links to the social media channels, but also to everything else that are mentioned in the show notes on our website, which is found at naturistliving.bareoaks, that's B-A-R-E, of course, bareoaks, O-A-K-S.ca. Please keep sending your comments and suggestions too, in addition to the comments that I'm asking you to make on the social media sites. Or even if you don't want to make comments on social media sites, by the way, start discussions. If you participate in discussion forums, some people take the opportunity to comment on a show they liked in a discussion forum or in their own blogs, and I really appreciate that too. So please keep doing that. I get to see many of them because I have some Google search automated searches that tell me sometimes when the Naturist Living Show shows up. So thank you to everybody who comments about it and who writes about the show and starts discussions. But if you want to get in touch with me directly, the show's email address is Naturist Living at Bare Oaks, that's BAREOAKS.ca, because we are in Canada. So join us again in about a month for the next episode of the Naturist Living Show.
This episode of the Naturist Living Show was brought to you by Bare Oaks Family Naturist Park. Traditional naturist values in a modern setting. Traditional values means that naturism is more than just taking your clothes off. It is a life philosophy with physical, psychological, environmental, social, and moral benefits. Bare Oaks Family Naturist Park strives to promote those naturist values in a modern setting that provides the amenities and services that our members and visitors expect. Free your body, free your mind. Learn more at www.bareoaks.ca.